Well, I would really like to cover the maintenance of your hammer. There's really not a lot here, but believe me, a little bit of maintenance goes a long ways. Now, periodically, I highly recommend that you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever and buy a 3/8 box end. I like these little ratchet ones they sell, because you're able to just ratchet the bolt. And it's real, I mean, they're really inexpensive, but what's cool about it is you drop that on there and just do a little twist, make sure it's tight, lock washer's down, boom, your head's good for, and do that once a week. Just do it as you think about it, pull the wrench out, just check it, okay? And it doesn't take anything to stick a Phillips screwdriver in here and check your bolt. That's pretty much the maintenance you need. Now, letting the bolt come loose is really a bad idea, really a bad idea. What happens when you let that bolt come loose is it puts slack in this head to the titanium. So any prying that you might do will end up bending this bolt. And if you do some prying with a loose bolt, you'll bend that bolt. Now you have a problem getting the head off. And I instruct many guys that when that happens, I tell them it's not going to come out because the bolt is bent. It has a straight round hole through here. So when you bend it, it's not going to twist and it's not going to work. So what I highly recommend is if that happens, I tell them, take a grinder or take your bandsaw, whatever, and cut the head of the bolt off, and then the head will come off. And then what you have is you have this head with a bolt sticking out without any, basically a bolt sticking out without a head on it. So you have this scenario right here. Well, if that's what you have, next thing you can do is try and put a pair of vice grips on this and see if you can turn and get it out. But more than likely, when you bend that bolt in an aggressive manner, because it's going to take a lot to bend that bolt, but if the head is loose and that bolt is loose and you bend it, oh man, you're toast. You're really going to struggle. So with that down inside there, what you want to do is if you cut that head off and you have this end sticking out, you want to put some vice grips on it and see if you can take it out that way. Some instances it'll happen, some instances it won't. You can try heating it with a torch or whatever to see if you can break that thing free. But most guys are able to get it out, but in some cases you can't, and you're going to need a new head. So that's why I'm saying just a little bit of maintenance prevents you from needing a new head. Now, the other side of that too is if you're real aggressive and you do the same thing and that bolt snaps off right at the neck, that means this slides out and you have captured, you've captured a little piece of your bolt down inside your hammerhead. Well, how do you get that out? Well, you can try and tap into it and put an easy out in it and try and extract it, but I haven't had any luck doing that. It pretty much, if you snap it off on the flush, more than likely you're going to need a new hammerhead. So please just take a little bit of time and tighten it. Now, ask yourself, oh, I don't want to do that. Well, if you don't want to do that, take a little bit of blue Loctite and put it on the end of your bolt and tighten it. Now, not the red. The red will make it permanent, and you'll have a hell of a time getting that out of there. You'll end up cutting it off and throwing the head away anyway. So what you want to do is use the blue one because it'll break free and it'll hold. But the key to using that blue Loctite is the fact that you let that Loctite dry for 24 hours before you use it. Don't come and put the Loctite on it, tighten it, and go using it right away because you've just blown the integrity of the Loctite. So just remember those key issues on your maintenance, but really keep this tight, keep this tight. That's the maintenance. Thanks.